Hello everyone, welcome to SPOTO Facebook Live. My name is Judy. It's been 4 days since the last BGP Facebook Live. There are a lot of friends on WhatsApp asking when is the next Facebook Live and what is the topic. Also, some friends mentioned about MPLS. I'm sorry, not for this time. We are preparing for it. Now, I would like to introduce today's topic for you. The topic is an introduction about common troubleshooting method. John is one of SPOTO instructor. His main courses are routing and switching. If you have any question about routing and switching, please feel free to ask him. You can find him in SPOTO Cisco study group. Just scan it. Join us and discuss more information in the study group. Today, John will be going to talk about the principle of generating a MAC adjustable. MAC adjustable consideration. The principle of generating an ARP table. How to use the MAC table and ARP table for troubleshooting. This leaf will help CCNA to understand MAC table knowledge learning, ARP table knowledge learning. For CCNP, how to use the MAC table and ARP table for troubleshooting in the current network environment. For CCIE, current network troubleshooting knowledge sharing. Thank you for your supporting in our study group after last Facebook Live. About your question, our instructor will reply you as soon as when they have time. Sometimes they are busy preparing license for online training and answering online training members' questions one by one. Do you want the one-by-one service as well? Come on, become one of online training member. Then you can get it. By the way, how many people are you preparing CCIE routing and switching exam? Or who want to learn it? Join us today. The original price is $1,400. Pay it today. I will offer a big discount for you. Also, I will offer a special gift for you. We have online training course start on June 17th next month. This is part of SPOTO English CCIE routing and switching course schedule, and we will doing this course. Here's the online course schedule. You can have a look. This is just for 3 course. And what is the benefit about online training? Let me tell you now. Firstly, you can study anywhere and anytime when you have the internet. Maybe the way back to home in the train, or just lying down in the couch. Oh, so relax. If you miss the online training leave, never mind. We will offer the recording for you. You will never miss our online course in any case. Secondly, SPOTO offers 7 days 24-hour service to help you solve the problem. Also, our instructor will guide you personally. Thirdly, Do you meet a career bottleneck? Anyone? Is there a little space for future development in your current job? Have you ever think about to change the current situations? Now, join SPOTO online training course right and get CCIE certification after 3 months. After 3 months, you will get CCIE certification. Then your annual salary will have a big change. The average annual salary for Cisco certificate Internet Work Expert is 122,000. This information comes from pay scale. It's a huge amount. Don't waste your time. Take our online training to change your career right now. Firstly, is the most important. SPOTO offers a free Cisco home lab in the cloud. Do you know what is this? It means you can do the lab practice online in our cloud. And the most important thing is free. You can get lab practice online for free. Only for today. Do not miss this chance to pay. If you miss this chance, you will never get as cheap as today's price. Let me tell you why to pay it right now. Before I explain why, could you please tell me what can you buy for $11? Take New Zealand as an example. You may have a cup of coffee, but you won't get a pack of cigarettes in New Zealand. However, pay it now. You only spend $11 per day. Then you can get both online training and free lab practice in the cloud. We offer 90 days service, so in the total you just spend $999. Normally, you will have to pay $1,400 for online training, and you have to learn Cisco Home Lab for $9.38 per hour. At least you have to spend 2 hours to practice it. So it means you have to cost $80.76 per day. I mean, at least 90 days will be $1,688.4. In the total, you will pay $388.4 to get both online training and only 2 hours per day Cisco home lab practice. I mean, only 2 hours. But if you pay right now, it's only $999, and you can practice lab exam in our cloud. I think 24 hours if you have time. So only $999 for this time. Do not miss this chance. I promise you will never get both of them with this price again. So now I will tell you why to choose SPOTO online training. SPOTO specialize in IT certification training and one great firm in Cisco, CISSP, AWS Huawei certification online training, and provide superior study material in the world over 16 years. SPOTO shared its reputation with practice over 98% passing rates. Faster pass, one-to-one service, and 7 days to 24 hours customer support. SPOTO helped a lot of SPOTO members achieve CCIE certification. SPOTO found head office on 18 February 2003 in Fuzhou, China. In August 2012, SPOTO helped over 100 members got CCIE certification. In November 2016, SPOTO helped 500 members pass CCIE lab exam. In August 2018, SPOTO helped 1,000 members get CCIE certification. In February 2019, SPOTO helped 1,200 members get CCIE certification. So do not worry, you cannot get CCIE certification. With SPOTO, you will get it as soon as the course. Sorry, I mean you can get CCIE certification with SPOTO. It's easier and fast. If you want to know more about SPOTO, Google CCIE dumps, find more information about SPOTO. And don't forget to join our SPOTO Cisco study group. You can discuss more questions with our instructor in the SPOTO in the study group. And that things is also most important. Don't forget to pay $999 to get both online training and free lab exam practice in our cloud. And now it's time to speak the troubleshooting. Welcome John back to our Facebook live. Welcome John.
Hello guys, can you hear me? Today I will share my course how to use the MAC table and ARP table for the troubleshooting. First, let me introduce myself. My name is John, and I am a CCIE instructor of SPOTO. I have worked in an integrator for several years and have rich project experience. I'm the members of SPOTO CCIE Club, which consists of many professional CCIE experts. If you have any questions about network, you can scan the QR code in here. You can add this group to find me. Today I will mainly introduce the MAC address table and then the generation principle of the ARP table. Finally, I will explain the troubleshooting background and the topology map for you. I will demonstrate the experiment in detail in the net sharing course. In part, the specific font of live broadcast or screen recording has not been completely decided. You can join our group first, and then we will notify you in the group. So let's get started. First, I will introduce you the MAC table. Before we introduce the MAC table, I want to ask you a simple question. What is a MAC address table? You know the answer is under the questions. A table records the correspondence between the MAC address of the NAND host and the switch interface, and the switch forwards the data frame according to the MAC address table. This is the the main idea of the MAC address table. So in the initial state, the switch does not know MAC address of the connected host. So the MAC address table is empty in the first time. In this example, the SWA is in the initial state before receiving the data frame sent by host A. There is no entry in the MAC address table. After receiving the data frame, host B, So let's choose host A to send a frame to the host C. We can see the process in this send. When the host A sends data to host C, it usually sends an ARP request to obtain the MAC address of host C. The destination MAC address in this ARP request frame is the broadcast address. It will be sent in here and here and here. After receiving the frame, the SWA adds the mapping ening interface and the SWA's MAC address to the MAC address table. So if the data frame sent by host A is received again during the aging time, the address table will have aging time. If the data frame sent by host A is received again during the aging time, the MAC address of host A in the SWA and the agent time of the mapping of ening interface are refreshed. Thereafter, if the switch receives the data frame when the destination MAC address is not host A's address, it will forward through the ening port. It's a unicast frame. So after receiving the data frame, host B and host C in here, host B and host D and host C will view the ARP data frame. However, host B and host D do not reply the frame. Host C processes the frame and sends an ARP response. The destination MAC address of the reply data frame is the MAC address of host A, and the source MAC address is the MAC address of host C. When this switch SWA receives the reply data from here, it will add the mapping between the source MAC address and the interface to the MAC address table. And this interface, there will be a mapping to the interface table, like here, E2. Then the SWA queries the MAC address table and finds the corresponding forwarding port according to the destination MAC address of the frame, and then forwards the data from ening. So in here, if anybody has any questions, you can add this group. If you have here has another question, about the MAC address table, but I will not be discussing here. I will discuss it in a group, in our group, so you can add our group and unicast me, or just send the message in the group. If I will notice that, I will give a response to you. So let us summarize in one sentence what is the MAC address table. What is the MAC address table? Use one sentence. The MAC address table is the mapping of interface, like this. Interface and the MAC address that consist the MAC address table. Above we explain the working principle of the switch, knowing that the switch is communicating through the MAC address. But how do we get the MAC address of the target host? And this time we need to use the ARP protocol. Just a few minutes ago, I talked a lot of times about ARP. But what is ARP? There is an ARP table in each router or know your switch, which records the correspondence between the host's IP address and MAC address. So in the next picture, I will show you the ARP, how it works. So in the first time through the ARP protocol, a network devices can establish a mapping between a target IP address and a MAC address. You know, in OSI's module, this is know your 2. This is know your 3. In know your 2, we use the MAC address. In know your 3, we use IP. You can say, let's imagine that this is host A and this is host B. If I want to communicate, if host A want to communicate with host B, it will contains the host A's IP address and MAC address, and then you will get the host B's MAC address. This is also the know your 2 and know your 3. This is MAC address. This is IP address. It also will get the host B MAC address first, and then it's the IP address. So if the host A just know the host B's IP address, it's totally not enough, you know. We must get the MAC address. It means we need to know the mapping B's IP and its MAC address. We need to know this information. But how do we know this? In this example, host A's ARP ACK table does not have host C's MAC address, so host A sent an ARP request to obtain destination MAC address table. MAC address. The ARP request packet is encapsulated in an internet frame. The source MAC address in the frame header is the MAC address of the sender. It's the MAC address of the sender, host A. As you can see, this is the host A's source is host A and destination is host C. But at this time, since since the host A does not know the MAC address of the host C, the destination MAC address is the broadcast MAC address. It's no unicast address. The PCA must broadcast to out of the interface, and the switch will send here and here to call PCB and PCC and ask them who is the PCA's ones, which is the PCA's target. So the ARP request packet contains the source IP and the destination IP and the source MAC address, and the destination MAC address. The destination MAC address is 0. So ARP request packets are transmitted on the entire network. All hosts in the network includes the gateway receives the ARP request packet. The gateway will block the message from being sent to other networks. So after that, there will be a ARP response. First you have a request, so we will give a response to the sender. For example, this is the request from PCA, so the PCC will give a response to PCA. So in here, the PCC will give a response. After receiving the ARP request message, all hosts check whether the destination protocol address failed matches its own IP address. So if it does not match, for example, the PCB, if PCB not match, the host will not respond to the ARP request message. If the PCC match, so the host records the source MAC address and source IP address information in the ARP packet to its ARP ACK table. Then respond with an ARP reply packet. It will be a friend from host C to host A. The host C responds to host A with an ARP reply packet. The source protocol address is in ARP reply packet is the IP address of host C itself, like this. The source IP is host C, and destination IP is host B, is host A, and the destination MAC address is host A. And the important thing is in here, the source MAC address is host C, PCC. Is host C, So in the type is reply. It means PCC will respond message to the PCA, and the time the operation code is set to replied. ARP reply packets are transmitted by unicast. So it's a unicast frame. It's not a broadcast frame. In the first time, PCA will send a broadcast frame. It will broadcast in here and here. But in this time, PCC will just unicast PCA. It will not be forward in here. So after receiving the ARP reply, host A checks whether the destination MAC address is in the ARP packet matches its own MAC address. In here, if the match is made, the source MAC address and source IP address in the ARP packet are recorded in the ARP ACK table of host A. The agent time out period of an ARP entry defaults to 1200 seconds. So, after we understand the MAC address table and the ARP table, how do we use their working principle to debug in the live network environment? In order to ensure that everyone can better understand the role of those two tables, I designed a simulation experiment topology that I will introduce you to our experimental background. I will explain the detail in the next lesson how to use these two tables sort out. And I'm sorry about that. There has a point I miss is here. As you can see, we showed ARP in switch. You can see the first is the IP address, and then it's the MAC address, and then is the interface. So the 3 point in ARP ACK table is IP address, MAC address, and interface. We will use these 3 important points to troubleshooting. So next time I will introduce you how to use the MAC table and ARP table for troubleshooting. But in the end, I will introduce you how to the background of our troubleshooting network. As you can see in this picture, the company's core router is on the 13th floor, and these 2 routers. And the first floor is mainly for access lawyer equipment, and the customer service department has more than 60 computers among them. And the aggregation switches is on 4th floor in here. However, due to the in this time VPC 7 found that it couldn't not access the network in this. It cannot access the network. But how do we get the trouble in the first time? How do we analyze where the trouble occurs? What causes this phenomenon? However, there is another situation in the troubleshooting network due to the complexity of the NAND and the aging of the devices cap label. It's impossible to know which interface of the Know Your 2 switch is inserted by the VPC 7. But how can I quickly know which interface of VPC 7 is connected to the switch? As you can see, it's easy to see it in this picture, but in real network, the switch's interface is very completed. If you don't make a mark just like cable label, you can find an interface to mapping to the computer. So in this situation, how do we use the troubleshooting, how do we use the ARP table and MAC address table to make a troubleshooting. So I will give you the next lessons in next week, maybe in next 2 weeks. But first, you can add our group, and this is our discuss group. You can ask questions in here, and we will give a response, and we will give a lot of materials for free and to all of you guys. So in this content will be shared here first. The final part of the content will be detailed experimental demonstrate next week. If you have any questions, please visit our training course. If you are interested in signing up for our course, Judy will before you describe in detail the benefits of our courses. Thank you all guys.